Hello there, guys. I am here with a brand new interview today. I have done previous Ghostbusters related interviews, and I actually spoken to Robin Shelby, who of course played Slimer in Ghostbusters 2. Will Deutschendorf was one of the twins who was Oscar in GB2 as well. And today I am with Darren McQuade, also known as the Magic Ghostbuster. So yeah, Darren, thank you for joining me here today.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So to start off, we'll get into the Ghostbusters and the magic stuff. But I also read on your profile that you're an actor as well.
Yes, that's right. I've been doing acting for a few years. Not obviously a big name actor, otherwise everyone would know who I am. But I've done a few small roles. The most recent one was last aired about August time, I think, was a BBC series called Ghosts. And very small role in that. I've mainly done stage plays generally. I've done all my TV stuff's been quite small so far. Hopefully, going to get bigger as time goes on. I've also done a few. When I started doing that, I started off doing background stuff, which I've been doing a bit of this week because work has just been almost non-existent last year. The exciting thing I did was probably in the background of Star Wars Episode 9.
I think I saw a little bit on your video when you were talking about your Star Wars collection. And you said a little bit about that. So that was pretty cool, though, to be in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's a shame it's the Star Wars movie that everyone seems to hate, but because I'm in it, I consider it the best.
What one is it?
Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9, which was quite.
Rise of Skywalker, was the last one?
Yeah, it was the last one. It's the one that. It was the one that upset a lot of people, I think, because it didn't end there. People wanted it to end, and I mean, I know from experience working on the film that they cut so much out of it, and some of the stuff that a lot of my stuff was actually cut out of it. There was a scene that they cut out where they were. I was basically standing to attention as a First Order technician, and Kylo Ren, the Knights of Ren, General Hux, and General Pride walk past as I'm standing to attention, and that was kind of leading up to. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, was leading up to Hux basically turning on the First Order, and whereas in the film I thought we just sort of come out of the blue. It wasn't expected, if that makes any sense.
So that Star Wars film, I think that's the one. I don't think I've seen that one yet. What's the one before that?
The one before that was called what was it? The Last Jedi. If we're going in the numbered films, I think the one that actually came out before that was called Solo.
Yeah, I think it might be. The one before that. So I haven't seen the latest one yet.
Yeah, I mean it's worth watching, but it's not the best. I'll be honest, not the best one. I mean, I guess it depends on your opinion of the new films versus. I mean, just. You can't beat the original three, basically, as far as I'm concerned.
What's your favourite of the original one?
Probably The Empire Strikes Back. I thought was the best one.
My brother was a big fan of Star Wars. He used to have all the VHS tapes back in the day.
That makes me feel old about VHS tapes.
But yeah, so you're an actor. I have to check out the program Ghosts you said about that you were in. Because I think I may have heard of it, but I never saw it, so I have to.
It's a comedy show. So it's about this couple that basically inherit this house, and it's ghosts. But all the ghosts are like really comedy characters. You have like an old war veteran. You have like a caveman. You have a really prim and proper lady, that sort of thing. And it's just loads of comedy stuff, basically. And apparently,
Ghostbusters in it. That would be interesting.
I would have loved to have turned up in my Proton Pack when I went to set, but
yeah. You're a magician as well. When did you get into your magic?
Well, I got into magic when I was about five-ish. Paul Daniels was the person who got me into it. I started with Paul Daniels' magic set.
Yeah.
And then just grew from there, really. Just kept practicing, getting more advanced tricks. And just went from there. And then when I left college, I started doing it as a job. And my first proper job out of college was selling magic tricks on a indoor market where I worked. So I would show these tricks and sell them to people, like easy tricks that people could do. And then I started advertising myself in the Yellow Pages. Didn't have to thing anymore, to be honest. This was before the internet really took off, and it just sort of went there. Started with kids' parties, and then went into weddings, corporate events, and and I think it's been my only real proper job. Like the last job I had outside of being self-employed was about 10 years ago now. It's been fun, definitely.
So then, combining both the love for Ghostbusters and magic, and becoming the Magic Ghostbuster. When was the Magic Ghostbuster created, and when did that take place?
I'm trying to think now. Got to be about 10 years ago. I started. It was about 10 years ago when I started putting a costume together for Ghostbusters. And then I just thought, why not do some magic based around that? So I just started putting together little. I was basically taking tricks I already did and basically putting a Ghostbusters twist on them. It wasn't. So that started about 10 years ago. It wasn't until maybe 3 years later I actually come up with a name, the Magic Ghostbuster, and come up with the logo and everything. And then it probably took another 2 years before I actually done a Facebook page and everything for it, because I'm not very good with social media, I must admit.
The design on your T-shirt, your patch, and all that is all pretty good. So, how do you incorporate like Moogly, the original Ghostbusters logo, and add your own images to it?
Oh, thank you. Basically, it's a design I come up with myself, but because I did graphic design at college, but it's not something I ever really took off as a career. But I was thinking, because loads of franchises throughout the world obviously do their own logos, so I thought I'll come up with my own one, and I spent a long time trying to come up with different ideas. And I have a friend who is a professional graphic designer. He does it for a job. So I sent him some of my ideas, and I had this one idea was very similar to what's on my T-shirt, except it was round. It wasn't this spade design. And I'd actually done Moogly's head in the shape of a spade, which actually it probably sounds better than it looks. It would actually look pretty. I thought it looked pretty bad, but I've always had this belief with anything creative, no matter what idea you have, always write it down because it can inspire something else. And he said, why not keep the face as it is and change the red circle into the spade? And that's what I did, basically.
Yeah.
And and then that's where the idea come from. And then just perfected it a little bit and went from there. And then since then, I've actually done, because this is obviously a spade from playing cards. And then he's holding some cards and got the magic wand there. And I've done the other 3 playing cards now. So I've got the club design where he's stabbing cards that are going over his head. I've got the diamond where his hands out like this, and there's a magic wand as if he's made something disappear. And then I've done the heart where he's pulling another Moogly out of a hat.
Oh, yeah.
Just the magic theme.
I mentioned to the viewers that Darren's channel, Magic Ghostbuster, will be in the description of this video. And he is also currently running a competition for the Plasma Series Spengler's Neutrino one. Be sure to go to his channel, subscribe, like the video, and if you're a big fan of Ghostbusters, I'd suggest to enter.
Thanks. The draw on that is on the 8th of June, Ghostbusters Day.
Yeah. I'm not sure, is it? And in the UK, I'm pretty sure that Ghostbusters came out in December?
It did. It actually did come out. I don't actually know the exact date it came out in the UK, but I just celebrate the American date.
Because it is Ghostbusters Day, and it is the day that that movie was released back in the day in '84. And actually, my birthday is on the 11th of June, 1984. So I was born like 4 days later.
Oh wow!
The original film. And so exactly in 1989, when Ghostbusters 2 was out, I was exactly 5 years old.
Oh, brilliant!
So that's kind of a thing I enjoy and quite glad about.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely something to be excited about.
So, of course, on the 8th of June, it's going to be Ghostbusters Day, and also that's going to be 37 years old. And on June, I'll be 37 years old on the 11th. So it's quite funny to think. It's quite special because I like to think I'm a huge fan. I mean, I grew up watching the animated series, and I think that now it's just I share my birthday with something that I love. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I wish I could say the same. I was born a year before, unfortunately.
Yeah. But, I don't know if you can tell from behind me there, but I got a Vigo the Carpathian poster just up there.
Very cool. Just make sure it doesn't come alive.
Yeah. My pack just here. Shall I quickly show you my latest?
Yeah, definitely.
Just like this one recently come. This was made by Blind Wolf Cosplay.
Okay, yep. It looks really nice.
Let me just quickly see a little sticker there. And
wow. Oh, I love it. Great. That's really cool.
So yeah, that was I went in to reset it or just turn it off and then do the same thing all over again. And the thing pretty cool that he does is that he makes it wireless. Everything is wirelessly done in the pedal, and it does come with the cable, so you can still use the cable if you want, just like it is in the film. But it's all done with this. And, yeah, it's pretty neat.
Oh, that's really cool. I might have to get myself one of those.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Just put this back.
No problem.
I'm actually looking forward to. I hope it comes out. I think it comes out on the 11th of June. It's the Ghostbusters 2 score by Randy Delman.
Yeah, I've lost track of what date it was supposed to be, but I'll take your word for it. But yeah, it's about time that it got released. But yeah, really looking forward to listening to that.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit of Ghostbuster stuff a minute. Bit of favourites and stuff like that. Out of the real Ghostbusters animated series, what was your favourite episode?
It's probably an obvious one, but Citizen Ghost was probably my favourite. Just because it carried on from the film. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably say that. But there's another one. I don't know. I can't think of the name of the episode now. But one that always stuck with me from when I was a child was trying to think of the name of it. I haven't seen it for years. I need to rewatch it. It was this white ghost with it was after its sledge, and it would say Rosebud.
Oh yeah, I know the one you mean. I got the Real Ghostbusters complete DVD collection, the Firehouse set, bought by Time Life. I think it was back in the day. It's quite expensive though, but back then I was able to get it. So I'm really thankful for that. I got it in my collection. It's one of those. It's one of those things now that I'm so glad that I have.
Oh yeah, because that's for a fortune now. I've got the Blu-ray set that they released, but I think it only came out in Germany, I believe. In fact, I've got it right in front of my telly here. This one I've got. But it's standard definition, but yeah, it's a German release. But it's got all the episodes on there, and I've been slowly going through them again because I haven't watched a lot of them for years now. think they've been uploading them to their YouTube channel as well, haven't they? Once a week.
Yeah, I think it's every Saturday they put it on there.
Mm.
What about Extreme Ghostbusters? It's not as good as the real Ghostbusters, but I still watched it when I was growing up. I don't know what did you enjoy it or?
I didn't back in the day. I must admit, I kind of watched. I think I watched a couple of episodes and didn't really get into it back in the day. I think I was just a bit of a snob. Like, that ain't like my Ghostbusters, so go away.
Yeah.
But as I've got older and I went back and bought the because they did a few episodes on DVD, didn't they? I know they've not done the full series, but I bought that and rewatched it and actually liked it a lot more nowadays than I did back when. I'm trying to think, was that about 97, 98 that come out? I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't really get into it back then, but as an adult, definitely got into it a lot more. And I think because they took Kylie Griffin from it and put her into the IDW comic series, which was cool. So that made me want to go back and watch it. And even though I know it's not technically the same universe, but yeah, it was cool. Yeah, and enjoy it. And I need to watch more of them actually, because I don't think I've seen every episode of that. I need to watch them all.
My favourite episode of the real Ghostbusters is Knock Knock, with the door that opens up at Doomsday. And I think Play the Ragtime Blues as well, where they travel back in time.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of episodes, wasn't there? So it's actually quite a lot to actually memorise, but that's just a couple of them.
How many does it say on there? How many there was? Because I can't remember. I think it was about 150, wasn't it? 150 episodes. All right. So it says on this 134 episodes plus 13 Slimer episodes. So yeah, almost 150. So it's a lot to remember.
How many Ghostbuster events have you been to as the Magic Ghostbuster?
Oh, do you know, I've lost track. It's been quite a lot now. Because I've done, I've been to conventions. I worked for Aspra's Casino when they were launching the Ghostbusters slot machine game. That was an interesting gig. It was basically that was probably my favourite one because we were getting paid really well just to walk around dressed as a Ghostbuster. I mean, it's a dream job. Who wouldn't want to do that? And just talking to people, and they were giving us free burgers and drink all night, and loved that one. But yeah, I've done loads of kids parties in my area. There's just been so many of them. I honestly couldn't tell you how many I've done. It's a lot.
How long did it take you to piece together your Ghostbusters uniform and stuff like that?
I would say about 5 years until I was happy with it. Yeah. I would say about 5 years because I tried homemade proton packs when I first started, just making them out of various little bits I had around the home, and then it wasn't until I bought a Ben of Kent kit that I felt I was really satisfied. And even then, I wasn't 100% happy until I'd upgraded some of the molded parts to real metal parts, like real clippered valves and all that sort of stuff. I'd say it's been about 5 years. I would like to get another ghost trap actually. Like the one you just showed me is really nice. I like the look of that because the one I bought the Matty Collector trap back in the day and love the electronics in it. I think it's great. And I completely customized it. Like I repainted it, pulled bits off, added real parts and all, which I regret now because those traps are worth a bloody fortune. It'd be nice to get another trap. Really, I think it's one of those things where I'm always tinkering and adding little bits.
The Blind Wolf cosplay one, it's 3D printed, so you have to like a little bit of a wait between payments and for it to be made. But when you get it, it's well worth it. I mean, there's a whole lot of work put into building it and the electronics that he puts in it, and it's all just made by himself, Sean Adams, who makes the traps and packs. my proton pack, I got from him. It's £800, that is, and so I paid gradually. Like £100 here and there when I was able to pretty much put some towards it. And I think I got it in the middle of last year, so around about June or July time of last year. And as soon as I received it, and came in this big giant box, I was kind of trying to do like a unboxing video, but after I just opened it up, there was all these like packing material bits inside, and it was just a nightmare to try and do a video of.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
The only thing I could do was actually just unbox it and just do like a review or a show off of it, and then it would have been so much better. I mean, I've done a unboxing of my ghost trap. That was in a little box. That was a lot easier to do, but something as big as that, not really a good thing to try and do on video.
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes. I find that I did similar time, I think last year, must have been about April, May, the Blitzway X01, I did an unboxing video of that, and that thing is, I mean, standing next to the box, it was like standing next to a small fridge, and it was very difficult to get decent camera angles and all that just because of the size of it. It's much easier to do a review of an action figure, definitely.
Really enjoyed your recent video with there was a Slimer thing on eBay you got, and you had to paint it. It was like a stone coloured one.
You know what? That's right on my windowsill next to me.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah. It was just one of those random eBay finds that I forgot what I paid for it now. I think I paid about £35, if I remember right. Might be remembering completely wrong. I'm surprised it didn't go for more, to be honest. And my intention was to paint it with loads of detail, paint it in green, different shades, paint the burger and all that. And then I was just thinking, I've got so many versions of Slimer around the flat, just do something different. So I just went and explored paint options and thought, oh, I found this stone paint. I thought, I'll give that a go. And I was quite pleased how it came out, actually.
And how are you enjoying the Eagle Moss Hero Collector Build Necto 1?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I've had a few issues where I've had broken parts in.
Oh no!
But I mean, overall, I'm enjoying it. I've got some issues with it, like the siren. I don't think is very good, and I know a lot of people are moaning about the sticker on the door, which I'm slightly behind people that have had that, so I've not reached that stage yet. Are you doing that? I can't remember if you were doing that or not.
I've not started that yet. No.
Yeah, but it's I would say it's worth doing. I mean, it is definitely. I mean, it looks good, like so far. I mean, it does have its issues, but I guess it depends how fussy you are and how good you are at making stuff as well. But I've had some broken bits, and
there's a lot of little screws you've got to use.
Yeah, the screws are tiny, and if you drop, when I drop one, it's gone. Can't find it to save my life. I mean, it does come with spare screws. I always put the spare screws in a bag. So I've got this massive bag full of screws now, which is handy. But yeah, I think there's more metal bits more plastic bits on it than I would have expected, considering it's advertised as like so much metal. And I think that's the issue. Some really fragile plastic bits you have to be careful of. But overall, I'm enjoying it. And I think I know it's the price of it. I think it's going to be about £1,400 once it's finished. But because I'm only paying £40 a month, you don't really notice it. So yeah.
I was going to say something then, because you forgot about it.
Right, the time.
Yeah. How long do you have till? Do you have like until, say, 6 or? No?
Yeah, I've got plenty of time.
Okay. That was the. Oh yeah, that was it. When's your next Ecto 1 video for the Eagle Moss build?
Well, I literally just had the next parts delivered today, actually. But I've got work on the next 3 days, so don't know if I'm going to have time to film anything in the next 3 days. I'm going to try and squeeze it in, but hopefully the weekend is what I'm aiming for. If I can do it sooner, I will, but I'm hoping by the weekend at the latest.
Yeah, because I'm always looking to see a new video pop up in my subs box from you to see what type of video it is, whether it's a review or to do with the Ecto One build or whatever it is. I always look forward to see what you have up. So, but I think before I subscribed to your channel, I saw a video that you built a copy of the Ghostbusters 2 scene where Oscar was trying to be taken by the slime tub.
Oh yeah, that's above me as well. Actually, there we go. Is that the one?
That's the one. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was. I'm not really sure where I got the idea for this from. I always thought like there was a few things missing from Ghostbusters figures, and a slime bathtub was definitely one of them. And I got the idea actually when I just come across one of these. This is a hamster bath that you put in a hamster.
Okay.
And
it looks good though. It looks good.
Yeah.
Anything official is a good thing to try and make yourself.
Yeah, thank you. And it wasn't that difficult to make, really. And the way I made it was I basically, this is all tin foil, basically, just bunched up, and then covered it in hot glue to make it really solid, and then covered it in like pink acrylic paint. This is really dusty now. I need to give this a dust. And I think what I like about doing this particularly is you can be as messy as you want, because I mean it's supposed to be just slime jumping out of the bath. It doesn't have to look perfect. Yeah. The only difficulty I found actually was I had to paint this bathtub white because I could not find a white plastic bath, believe it or not. They all come in weird colours. But the other thing I made, which I don't think I ever did a video on because I was not very happy with it, was the Mink coat ghost.
Okay, yeah.
Because I just don't think I did a very good job of this, but I've still got it out because it's. But I always wanted a figure of that ghost. That scene, ever since I was a kid, I just always found it funny. There's this woman walking along with a fur coat, and then it comes alive and tries to fight her, and just always liked the way it just rung off. It's always quite funny.
My New York trip, 3 years since I went, is going to be premiering next Monday. So that's a week today.
Oh, brilliant! I'll keep an eye out for that, definitely.
Oh yeah, and I heard you went to New York too.
Yeah, that was I'm trying to think now. 2 years ago that was. 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago now, roughly. It was September time. Because
I keep saying that it was good during the times we went there because of the whole pandemic thing. Now you wouldn't have been able to do anything like that, or
it would have been impossible, wouldn't it? If I mean, I would love to go back. I don't know about you, but I'd love to go back one day. And I mean, I took loads of pictures. I've got loads of pictures of it, but I regret not doing any videos of it whilst I was there. I'd love to do that, and just to, because we went for 4 days, and we squeezed a lot into 4 days. But I'd love to go for like at least a week, if not longer. Spend more. I mean, we'd actually planned because my girlfriend's birthday is the beginning of March, and mine's the middle, and that was when we had actually planned to arrive on her birthday and leave the day after mine and make it like a birthday trip. Like for last year, we were planning to do that because March time was quite cheap to get flights and hotels and stuff as well. I know the weather wouldn't have been perfect, but it would have been great. And then money didn't really work out to make it happen, and it wouldn't have happened anyway. It turns out because of the pandemic. So I'm glad we didn't waste our money on tickets.
When this is all over, you get to go back and you can do like a video instead of the photos. I mean, you can get photos as well, but if you want to get a video footage and use them for the channel, your channel, you can do a video as well of it. So it's always good to get a video done because subscribers and fans of the films and would just love to see that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah. And it's just so cool just being there. I mean, to me, it felt like a religious experience almost.
Yeah.
Like, so good, just being in front of it, and after all these years of seeing it on TV, and then it's right there in front of you. It was just so cool.
Yeah. Actually, we stayed like a Airbnb when we went. That was an apartment we stayed in. I went there with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
2018. But yeah, it was a good trip. Went to the Statue of Liberty and all the like main locations. The museum that was Manhattan Museum of Art in the movie.
Oh, do you know, I completely missed that.
Yeah. So
I didn't actually go to the Museum of Art, but because I did. This was just stupidity on my part. I never thought to look up where it was, and turns out I was like not far from it. But when I looked it up, and then it was too late to go because we had other stuff planned. But
yeah.
I got Spook Central and the museum, not museum, sorry, the library, firehouse.
Do you like the Ghostbusters video game from 2009?
Oh, I love that game. Absolutely love it. Played it back in the day. I remember importing it from America because it came out on PlayStation, I think 3 months before the Xbox over here, if I remember right. So I imported it early, and I love it. And I bought the remastered version that came out last year. Was that last year or the year before now? I can't remember when that came out. But yeah, play. I'll play it quite often. What do you think about it? Did you like it?
I'm in the middle of actually doing a video series, like a gameplay of it.
Cool.
I have a little break of it now, but I got to get back into it. I'm up to part 17, I think. I started playing it again in 2019 to celebrate the 35th anniversary. I haven't finished one of it yet, so I'm still calling it a 35th anniversary gameplay, even though it's years after that now. But I just love playing it. And no matter how many times you play it's just so cool.
Yeah,
and,
definitely one of my favourites.
And the poster pack on that game just keep updating it. Like you could have the slime feature on it, like for that slime blower part. I think you can. It's kind of the similar part you have on that Spengler Neutrino one.
Yeah.
Different settings. Some of the sounds on there is from the game. So I think it's pretty cool how stuff from the game or the movies can actually be brought into a toy or a pop replica or something.
Yeah, that was a cool addition that they did. I wouldn't have expected them to do that either, but it's really cool they did.
What do you think of the releases of the old Kenner toys, like the Hasbro ones of the old figures, the real Ghostbusters?
I think they're cool. I mean, I've got most of the originals on the card, but I still buy the re-releases. I know some people get really annoyed by them, where they like saying it devalues the originals, but I don't think it does. There's always going to be people out there that want the originals, and I just think it's cool because it means people can now afford to have something like those original figures again. And I think it's just bringing it back out. I just think it's really cool that they're doing stuff like that. I just love it. I personally would love to see them do some different stuff in that style, like some of the ghosts we never got. I'd love to see. I don't think they will, but hopefully I'm wrong. But what were your thoughts on it? Did you like those?
I actually need to get some. Actually, I don't have any of them. I need to I buy my stuff on Amazon. So each time I go on there, it's either been out of stock or gone up in price.
Typical Amazon.
Yeah. Maybe I look through like other collector websites. Maybe is there any websites you know if I can get Ghostbusters stuff on?
Nerdtoys.com are really good. That's who I've collaborated with this Neutrona Wand prize. Yeah. They have, and I did see. I'm trying to think. I did see a post from them about a week ago saying that they're coming back into stock, the retro figures.
That's good. So I'll probably check that site out because I can start getting stuff from there. So yeah, because Amazon they either make stuff more and more expensive or they just run out of stock, so I think it's best to go to a different site for the Ghostbusters stuff, really.
I think so, and I'm not a fan of Amazon anyway, because half the stuff I've ever bought from them has just turned up not even in a box, or it's been completely wrecked. Stuff like, I remember I bought a lightsaber, so not Ghostbusters, but it was a Kylo Ren lightsaber, and they literally just stuck a sticker on the box. They didn't package it or anything, and I like to keep the boxes for these things because that's part of collecting. And the box
keeps the value on it and stuff, and the way it looks and stuff. So.
Yeah. A friend of mine collects vinyl records, and he buys a lot of those, and he was buying them from Amazon. But again, they would just slap a sticker on, and then they'd arrive all bent up and all that. And it's like, you're selling collector's items, you should be packaging them. But I'll give so much volume, they just don't care, do they? Basically.
Yeah. Have you seen the documentary Ghost Heads?
I did. I didn't like it, I'll be honest. Wasn't a fan. How about you?
Yeah, I do. I've got the Blu-ray. Got that one on Amazon as well. It was an import, so but yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, their sort of feelings on the movies and what happens in their personal life, and they're combining it with watching the film. So I guess it's kind of going into their personal lives a lot as well than what they think of the films and stuff. So it's okay, but it sort of sees their lives more than they do their fan of the franchise.
Yeah, I found it a bit cringeworthy myself, and I just felt like they should have focused on more fans, not just the few that they did. So when you call a film Ghost Heads, it should be about, there should be like 20, 30 different Ghostbusters who are being interviewed and stuff, not just these few. And I wasn't a fan, but you know, if you enjoyed it, for people that do enjoy it, that's all that matters, that they enjoy it. So obviously,
I heard that documentary. Is it called Too Hot to Handle? The second documentary of Key Up the Town.
Yeah.
One for the second film. I hope that one comes out soon, because
I hope so.
If I'm honest, I was born in '84, like I said, so Ghostbusters 1 should be my favourite movie. But because I wasn't old enough to see it back then, I think I saw both of the films when I maybe was about 5 years old. But I think I fell in love with the second film more, so I say that that's my favourite film of all time. So that's why I'm looking forward to Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Ghostbusters 2 was the first film I ever saw at the cinema as well. Yeah. So, so I totally get what you mean. Like, I think it's so difficult to decide which ones I think I prefer. If you had a gun to my head, I would probably pick number one. But for me, they're just so close. I just think they're both so good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some scenes. What's your favourite scene from GB1, for instance?
That's a tough question. It's probably where the Marshmallow Man appears.
Yeah, it's hard to choose one. It's hard to choose one of anything, so I'll just choose two. The first scene where Egon and the other two, Ray and Peter, go into the basement of the library, and they're all Ray and Peter is following Egon because he's with his PK meter, and when they just come to Eleanor Twitty. And then suddenly it goes, and they just all run outside. It's quite epic, that scene, very beginning part. And when they just first turn up at the Sedgwick, that very first scene where they come through that the hotel doors with their gear on, that scene, that's just, that is the first time you get to see them with the stuff on. For the very first time, so that's a good.
Very cool. There's so many good scenes, isn't there? It's just so hard to pick one. Say, but
GB2. My favourite scene in that I think I mentioned this in my. I mentioned my quote from my favourite scene on your contest. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to be give people ideas of what my quote was to try and copy what I said for your competition. But my favourite quote is in the courtroom scene, because I love that scene. So yeah, and Harold Ramis, he's missed a lot. He was just a great thing in the whole Ghostbusters world. He's very missed still now. The whole Doe Ray Egon part in the courtroom scene, and I think the other two first think he's going to say like Doe Ray me, but no, he thinks, oh, I'll be funny. I'll just say my name as well. So yeah, that's just love that. So what's your favourite scene from the sequel, or scenes? You can have more than one.
I liked the bit where Ray's lowered and into the river of slime, or not into the river of slime, I'm hanging out in the river of slime. I always remember having a cereal pack with that scene drawn on the back, which I really like. Courtroom scene as well is another one I love. Just that whole, I love the Scoleri brothers. I wish we got more merchandise related around those. We don't get enough, I don't think. God, yeah, it's so tough. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I just always loved the bit with the Coke coming alive. Don't know why, it just always stuck out to me. Even though it's such a minor part of the film, really, but that was something that always stuck out to me. I really liked. But yeah, the train as well. The train coming towards them, and in the subway.
So shocked with the train going through him.
Yeah.
On the old Statue of Liberty walking down the street.
Yeah, loved that as well. Always one.
I guess it's a kind of copy of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking, but I think it's different in many ways. You know, they're using it as like a transportation to go from where the Statue of Liberty was to where the museum is, and I thought it was a good way of how they can actually get into the museum, because they tried to shoot their way through, and of course the slime was too tough. They had to think of another way, and the Statue of Liberty was just a pretty good part to get there. So I like that part. And one of the scenes when Bill Murray comes down and says, "Happy New Year."
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I totally agree about the Statue of Liberty, and I know, like I said, people would say it's too similar to the Stay Puft, but I don't think so. I think it's different. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it has similarities, but if it's not broke, don't.
So Janosch don't get in the way. Peter says, "Who's him?" So he doesn't get in the way. He's just on the ground, covered in move slime, so he doesn't, get in the way of them. Then they can just get rid of Vigo, and then he can just they help him up just afterwards. Why are my drippings with goo?
He was so good in that. So good. And
Peter McNichol was a great job in that character.
I did. I love the fact as well that he played an art curator in the Mr. Bean film as well.
Yeah, I keep thinking, and also Harris Yulin, who played of course, the judge in that film as well.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I see that film. I own it on VHS and saw it a few times and think, why do they have two people? There was from Ghostbusters 2, and one of the actors was to do with a painting in that film as well.
So someone who's really good with video effects needs to go through Mr. Bean and change the painting from that into Vigo. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. My sister bought me, my girlfriend, bought me this Mr. Bean doll for my birthday. And I keep meaning to print a big Vigo painting to stand next to it, but I want to rub the face out and draw the face on like Mr. Bean did in the film, which I think will be quite funny.
Yeah.
I haven't got around to it yet.
What's your favourite soundtrack from the first film? Say a track of a song or something.
I think "Saving the Day," I think, was just such a perfect song. It just went so perfectly with the scene. I think it's such a great song as well. Yeah, I think that's probably my favourite one from the first film.
With you there. So, you know, yeah, that one is. That's probably the best one because going from the mayor's office down to 55 Central Park West, and yeah, just plays so well. And
yeah, it's such a perfect song, and I think that song could easily fit into other films as well if they wanted to. Like, you could easily put that in like an Avengers type film and it'd fit. Yeah. I think it's just such a perfect song.
And also, I like there's a whole bunch of songs I could choose for Ghostbusters 2, but I always go for Bobby Brown on Our Own.
Yeah,
I Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's my favourite from Ghostbusters 2, definitely.
It's nearly 10 to 6, so I was just thinking, have you got a magic trick you could show us?
I do. I'm prepared.
I can't get out of a chat with the magic Ghostbuster and not mention a magic trick.
Shall I teach a magic trick?
Yeah.
So yeah. I'll do a normal trick and then I'll teach a trick and then I'll show you another trick. So I have this tissue Slimer.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm going to tear Slimer up, poor Slimer. And I'm going to roll that into a ball. Blow on him. And then he goes back together. Like that. Now I'm going to teach the trick. So the secret is there was 2 pieces of paper. There was 2 Slimers. See, there's the one I tore up. There's the one that I put back together. So that you can follow the trick easier, I'm going to explain it properly. I'm going to use 2 different pictures. So I've got Stay Puft and Slimer. If you decide to do this trick yourself, make sure they're the same. So you screw up this one. Just hide it in your hand like this. So have it this way so no one can see. Tear this one up. And as you're rolling that into a ball, you're basically going to swap them over like that, obviously in the motion of rolling it. And then you unroll this. Then the audience applauds and goes wild. Now, of course, that's something you can do yourself at home. The one problem is it does leave the torn bits in your hand still. So there's 2 things you can do. You can either say, like, look over there, and when everyone's turned around, you can throw them away. Or you can do real magic, click your fingers, and the torn pieces really go back together like that.
Well, so that's quite an amazing trick in one, and also showing how one's done all at the same time.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So I'll show you this one. Let me just re-angle myself. So can you see these cards okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to test your psychokinetic energy now, because people have different levels of psychokinetic energies. So if you've got a higher level, you'll be able to see more ghosts. If you've got a low level, you'll see less ghosts. Maybe not even any ghosts. It depends on your level. But let me just angle myself a bit more. So these are the cards. Let me know if you see any ghosts on any of these cards.
Slimer.
Oh, you see Slimer. Okay, did you see ghosts on any of the other cards?
No.
Right, so you can see Slimer. Slimer is a very sneaky ghost. If I take him out like that and flick him there, he disappears from there and jumps back over there. Now that you've been exposed to Slimer, your psychokinetic energy has actually gone up, and you should be able to see other ghosts now. That you might be able to see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Sam Hain, the Ghost of Halloween, the Sandman, and of course, if you get home and find any of these ghosts, who are you going to call?
The Magic Ghostbuster or Ghostbuster? Of course, the Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I messed that trick up slightly there, but don't tell anyone.
Okay. But, yeah. So combining 2 loves together, the magic and the whole Ghostbuster stuff, it's just really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it just seemed like such a natural thing to do, to me, at least. But yeah.
What was I going to say? There's a Comic Con that I paid for to go a couple of years ago, and of course it's been delayed. And this is called EctoCon 2020.
Oh yes, yep, I know of that. That was up in, wasn't it?
I think it's going to be happening next year or something. I don't know, but if it does, are you going to be going?
I hope so. I hadn't booked to go with the original dates because I was actually doing a wedding. Not as a Ghostbuster, unfortunately. So I'm going to wait and see what happens, obviously, pandemic-wise, and if the new dates work out. Hopefully they do, and then hopefully I will be able to go.
Because I've got the tickets all paid for. It's going to be me and my sister. So, you know, my tickets, because they're bought and we're going to be going on those ones. So they're still valid. That's what the update video said as well and stuff. So, and if you go, it'd be good to meet you in person and stuff.
Definitely, yeah. I'm really hoping I can go. I would love to. And was it Edinburgh? I think was it in Edinburgh the EctoCon or
Scotland and Glasgow.
Glasgow. Ah, it's Glasgow. Okay. Yeah, couldn't remember exactly because I went to I've only ever been to Scotland once, which was Comic Con Scotland in Edinburgh. That was 2 or 3 years ago, where I met Ray Parker Jr.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
It was really, really nice. He was a really cool guy, and a funny story from that was because I went in my costume. On the way back, walking back from the convention centre, there was these steps that went down into this graveyard area. So I said to my friend, "Oh, let's just go and get a couple of pictures whilst I'm in the costume and it's a bit dark." So there I am, just standing there taking some pictures, and then there's this ghost tour bus they have in Scotland called Ghost Bus Tours, which was really fun. And that bus pulled up, and all these people come off down into this graveyard and looked at me. They thought I was part of their act. And so I just left and said, "Sorry, there's no ghost left now," and then walked off. What else to do? It's so funny.
That's good. Ghost bus.
It was worth going just for that, definitely.
I went to my first Comic Con last year, sorry, back in 2019. So it was my first con to go to, and it was actually, it was the first ever two I went to. I went to one back in early 2019. And that was me in the franchise of the city I'm in. So it was the Bristol Ghostbusters.
Okay. Yeah.
First ever time meeting them.
Cool.
So I went and saw them in the gear and on the table and stuff. First ever time meeting them. So that was an experience. Later that year, there was a Halloween thing going on where they actually had Ghostbusters on in a cemetery somewhere.
Brilliant.
Cemetery. So they had a movie on, and they were there as well. They wanted to get Ghostbusters to introduce the film and stuff, so they were there at that. So I saw the movie then with my brother-in-law, who I went to New York with, who was in that same video. And then the last con I ever went to until, because of the whole pandemic thing now, was Western Supermare, and that was in the end of 2019, before the old pandemic stuff started. So that was the last Comic Con I went to. So I just hope that cons can happen again, and after all this ends and everything.
Everything crossed.
Yeah.
The one in London, I think for end of July, they're hoping is going to go ahead. Don't think there's any Ghostbusters guests there, but I will be going regardless. Assuming it goes ahead.
You're in London, aren't you?
Well, I live in Essex, but I'm very close to London. I'm basically a couple of towns along from where London. So I've got.
what would be your local Comic Con to go to?
The main one is probably the MCM London Comic Con, which is at the Excel Centre. That's the closest one to me. We do have some local ones. There was one in Southend where I was supposed to perform at last year. Obviously, didn't happen because of the pandemic, but I performed at the year previous. Wasn't a big Comic Con. It was only in a shopping centre. So you just had a few stalls, me doing magic and stuff, and a few displays. But the main ones are London, really.
When was the last con you went to?
The last one, I think, it must have been the London one in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to think now, because we used to have an MCM one in October. Can't remember if I went to that one or not. It was definitely 2019. I can't remember exactly, but it's definitely one of the London ones. I just can't remember which London one.
I think we'll have to end up now. But thank you ever so much for joining me on here. I had a lot of fun, and learning about the acting job at the beginning. What you've done, what you've with the Star Wars movie that you were in as well. Your magic, how the magic stuff came about, and how the Magic Ghostbuster came together as well. And keep your Magic Ghostbusters videos coming. I'm thoroughly enjoying them. The Eagle Moss Sector 1 build, the reviews, everything that you're doing on the channel. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. And hopefully you get many more entries into your competition.
Fingers crossed, and same to you. Keep up all the good work with your channel. I'm especially looking for the New York one. Did you say next Monday? Was it? I think you said.
Yeah, I got a premiere, so there's gonna be like a live chat. So once it's on, there'll be like a little type in thing, so you can hear your comment as it's being played. So that'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
So I'll just end this, and then we'll say our goodbyes after.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
So, guys, thank you ever so much for joining me and Darren, the Magic Ghostbuster, here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment in the comment section. But until then, until my next video, guys, goodbye and take care for now. And also, I want to just say here at the very end, as Darren always says at the end of his videos, we'll both say it together if you like, keep on busting.